The Rogue, P3, and P4 have some similarities, but there are some differences that you need to be aware of before you buy. Also, before you buy, you might even find a deal like this that I found in my local area for a P4 50 bucks off for $125. Both the Rogue P3 and P4 have some similarities, just like the 1x2 steel that are similar to the squat racks from Rogue. They also use a 52-inch pull-up bar. This will extend past the brackets a couple inches, so just be aware of that when you are setting this up. The way the bar is held in, preventing it from sliding left and right, is by friction screws. Depending on what year model you buy, there's different variations of how the friction screws are tightened down to hold that pull-up bar from sliding left and right. One of the options is going to be held in by a nut, and the other option is just where you screw a standard bolt into the pull-up bar. Both systems can be applied to a stud wall, and they can be at a maximum of 48 inches. For a concrete wall, you're looking at 36 inches. You can make your system longer, but that will require more brackets to daisy chain them together, and you would also require you to go buy a longer pipe than just the one that they provide for you. You can buy this longer pipe at any hardware store around your area. There is an installation option for you to apply this to your ceiling. For the P3, you would need between 8 feet and 9'6" ceiling, and the P4 you would need 9'6" ceiling. But I really don't recommend this option because your ceiling really isn't designed for all the forces that come from swinging. There isn't really a big issue if you're doing strict movements, but where that kipping comes in, there's just a lot of extra forces being applied. The cost to have a structural engineer come out and assess the damages if a truss or floor joist gets damaged is very, very expensive. It can get over $1,000. And if you just damage a stud, you can just replace the stud. There is a price difference between the Rogue P3 and P4. The P3 you can get for $165, where the P4 you can get for $187.50. The price has gone up on this as well from previous years. The $22 difference between the two pull-up bars comes from the distance of the pull-up bar away from the wall. The P3 has a 14 to 22 inch distance away from the wall. The P4 has a maximum distance of 30 inches. And yes, the 8-inch difference actually does make a lot of difference when you are doing kip movements away from the wall. And this is a deciding factor for CrossFitters. This allows you to have enough room to be able to do a bar muscle up, toes to bar, chest to bar without worries with hitting your feet against the wall. Another worry for lifters in general who put weights overhead is if they would hit the weight plates on the barbell when they are doing overhead movements. Before you buy, just ensure that you have enough ceiling height to put the pull-up bar high enough that it goes over those weight plates overhead. But what if you don't do CrossFit but you're still limited on space? The P3 would suffice for your fitness goals. You don't need all that extra space away from the wall. The 22-inch will be enough for you to do standard strict movements, but some of you are going to want a multi-grip option where this is just a standard pull-up bar. That is just one downside to both the P3 and P4, that there is no multi-grip attachments wider out on the pull-up bar. I get it's just a standard pull-up bar, but it'd be good to have some basic attachments that you could apply to this. Here's an option from Amazon for you to apply to any standard pull-up bar to give you a multi-grip challenge. I really can't find any disadvantages to the P3 and P4 over the past 2 years of use. It really just comes down to the fact of not having multi-grip options and the price. If you are looking for more budget-friendly options, I'll put down in the description the Titan Fitness pull-up bar that is very similar to the Rogue P4, and I know it's made in China, but it is $100 cheaper when shipped. Another advantage to any of these wall mount pull-up bars is that they can be used outside. After a rain, make sure you wipe down these pull-up bars so that we prevent any kind of rusting. And if there's months you're not going to be using the pull-up bar because it's too cold outside, I would just take the pull-up bar out of the friction screws, then your pull-up bar doesn't get damaged. As we progress into the summer months, the humidity can cause some rusting. Make sure you're prepared for the warmer weather that is to come by checking out this video about cooling your garage gym.